Welcome to episode 2 of our Queen Jelena Sail Croatia cruise vlogs. Small ship cruising is so different from ocean cruising, and in this episode we continue to show you what life is really like on board, some things to consider, and we visit the islands of Korcula and Vis. Right then. So today has been a fab day, hasn't it, Pauline?
Yes, indeed.
We left Mljet at 7:30 this morning, and it was a lovely little sail away from there, wasn't it, Pauline?
It was, and the shot
Paul was up.
I was up. I was actually the second, not including crew members, I was the second person up on deck, and Carole was only the third.
Only because I was behind him on the stairs.
Well, I think when like the Olympics, when the bloke comes across the line first, and the bloke in second place said we only because I wasn't fast enough.
Anyway, we met David from New Zealand, who's an early riser too, and sat there and watched Sail Away, which was lovely. And you were glad you got up, weren't you, Paul?
I was glad I got up, apart from David giving me very poor advice. Apparently it's quite a Croatian tradition that they don't like wearing shoes. And he said, I haven't worn shoes at all, he said. So I went up on the sun deck with no shoes on and nearly burnt the bottoms of my feet off.
Yes.
So thanks for that, David.
But anyway, after watching the lovely Sail Away, we had breakfast. Breakfast is lovely on here, isn't it? It's buffet style.
Yeah.
Decent choice. We sat with our normal crew on our table and had a good chat. And then we've been heading... Today we've arrived in...
Korcula.
Korcula.
It's all the same place. You pronounce it however you want.
So this is our next island, and on the way again the captain found a lovely spot and we went for a swim, as you can see here, and you can see what did you call yourself going off the side of the stairs?
Carole videoed me diving in, and I thought I was very reminiscent of if Tom Daly had a fat grey-haired grandad.
Yes.
That's what I would look like.
Yeah. The water, wasn't it?
Oh, it was
Absolutely beautiful.
If it was possible, the water was clearer than our previous swimming stop, but it was a little bit cooler. But oh my god, the water was just spectacular.
I put my GoPro up on the top deck, and I did just for a quick time lapse because there's so much activity with the boats, as you can see here, and hopefully you can spot us in the water. Because then we were in the water and I looked up and thought, oh my god, I hadn't turned the GoPro off. Anyway, didn't think anything of it, got back on the ship, felt the GoPro and thought, oh my god, that's really hot. Anyway, let it cool down, brought it into the cabin, and I tried to remove the battery from the GoPro and the little tab just came off and the whole battery is melted, hasn't it?
It's melted inside the camera.
Yes, but luckily we thought, right, let's just leave it. Paul managed to use my manicure set to get the battery out, and as you can see, because we're filming it now, the GoPro is back and running, and thankfully I had 3 batteries, so we've got 2 left, so I shan't be stupid me, isn't it really?
So we need to find out if GoPro do a little sun parasol to go over top of it to keep it cool. But
yes, I wonder if they've got it.
They don't, honey, I just made it up.
Dear.
Oh, I'd love to have gone store to store with you. Have you got a sun parasol for a GoPro, please?
So after our lovely swim stop, we came down and dried off and ready for lunch. Lunch is always at 1 o'clock. The menu's outside the door. Mia always updates that.
Outside the door, how random is that? The menu is outside the bar
Saloon
restaurant
door.
area, yeah. So
Yes.
it's not just outside a random door. And we had a lovely 3-course meal again, and it was mushroom ravioli
With a truffle sauce. Which was delicious.
Lamb chops, and
Carrot puree.
It was a carrot puree, which amazingly I really liked, and Carole didn't.
Yeah, I didn't, because I love carrots, but it wasn't. But they're lovely, like sauteed potatoes.
Yes.
But that was delicious, and cheesecake.
And scarily, it was a cheesecake with a lemon sauce, and the lemon sauce looked exactly the same colour as the carrot puree. And I said to Carole, maybe they had some left over.
No.
But it wasn't. And I'm not a lemon fan at all.
No, you're
It was
not.
absolutely delicious, as per every other thing we've
Well,
had
the
so
food
far.
we've had on here has been delicious. And if you do have any dietary needs, there's a gentleman on here who's gluten-free. They accommodate that, so
Yes.
you just have to let them know.
Because we had a question on Facebook saying, oh, like the gala dinner, I couldn't have done that because it was very fish orientated.
Yeah.
But you tell them at the start of the cruise, you say, right, this I don't like this, I don't like
Yeah.
that, blah 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 blah, and they will bend over backwards. What I'm desperately trying to do, which I will the next time I get a chance, is I just want to give you a quick video of how big the galley area is where they prepare the food.
Yes.
And honestly, it's not even anywhere near as big as our cabin.
Yeah.
And the stuff,
It's remarkable.
the stuff that they're producing from there is absolutely amazing.
is.
I think.
Yeah, lunch was perfect, wasn't it? So after our lunch, we had our normal afternoon siesta, and then everyone, as soon as we got into Korcula, as you can see, the sailing was absolutely stunning.
It was beautiful.
So we arrived in Korcula.
This is where Carole looks at me and I do an alternative pronunciation. But I'm going to go with Korcula.
Just Korcula. And for the first time, as you'll see here, we got to the dock. So we were first against the dock side because we've been wanting to show you pictures of our beautiful ship Queen Jelena, but because we've been surrounded by ships all the time, it's really hard to get any photos or any footage. But anyway, we're first in, and here is our beautiful ship.
She's a beauty.
So there we are, look at her, she's lovely.
Look at her.
Look at her. A bit of a tip here, we've been swimming so much. We normally only bring, I only bring sort of one pot of conditioner, so I've had to go out and buy some more. But literally right across the dock is a shop. Anything you want to buy is in Korcula. It isn't cheap, but it wasn't too bad, was it?
And when she says anything you want to buy, that you can't buy a car in there. A helicopter. They didn't have any lardy cakes. So, but they've got a lot of essentials there.
Yes.
So you shouldn't mislead people at anything you want to buy.
Well, if you want shampoo and conditioner, which is like what I wanted.
What if you want a tank?
No, they didn't have them.
Did they say that?
Anyway, so Corcula is this beautiful island. It's quite large, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we're obviously in the old town. So we had a really good, nice wander around. We've been here once before on our first 2-week cruise. We're not on the old celebration that's no longer with us.
And the town.
You don't remember anything about it?
The amazing thing is, this town is absolutely beautiful, and I don't remember a thing about it, which is quite surprising because it is. It's lovely, fair play.
It's really busy, and Regal Princess was here earlier, and we thought, oh, it's going to be packed because of this cruise ship being in. But actually, the cruise ship left. We went out, and it was so busy, wasn't it?
Busy.
So I think if you're coming to Corcula in peak season, I'd recommend that if you want something to eat, if you want something in particular, to book it in advance, because lots of the restaurants were fully booked. Well, they were busy, but we actually had a good walk around. It's absolutely stunning, as you can see from our footage here. So after a good mooch around, we headed back to the ship because we were meeting Mia to go for a village dinner. Is included in your price of a Sail Croatia cruise, and that's exactly what it says on the tin, isn't it? You get picked up, taken to a village, and you have dinner. Yeah,
it's a little village, 10 minutes outside Korcula. We didn't know what to expect at all, really.
No.
And to be fair, a lot of silly billies said they didn't want to go. So there was only 7 of us. And ironically, it's the
7. There's 5.
And there was only
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
7 of us.
7.
So only 7
my
of
maths
us.
is very good.
Plus Mia.
Yes.
And the irony was, as I was saying, it was the 7 naughty children that always seemed to end up on the same table together.
Yes.
None of us knew that the others said they were going.
No.
And it was a 10-minute bus ride. The bus is all included. We got to this little restaurant which was absolutely packed. We met this old fella who was, the trouble is you can't tell in the Mediterranean, he could have been 35, he could have been 109, we don't know. But he was a lovely old fella.
Yeah.
He gave us...
He was the owner of the restaurant. He explained to us.
He let us try some...
Like grappa. Whoa.
Before the grappa, we had the dried figs.
Yes,
which were delicious.
Nice.
And then he gave us shots of grappa. Now, I've had grappa before, and it's pretty vile. So what I did is I kept my fig in my mouth.
Yes,
so when I drank my grappa, which was horrible, you can then chew your fig at the same time, and then that just sweetens your mouth up. And then his wife showed us how to make macaroni.
So
we were making fresh macaroni as well. So it was all educational.
It was great.
And then we got shown to our table. We had a special big table. They brought out, first of all, like a tray which had cheese and meat and tomatoes. What else was there? There was something else as well, wasn't there?
Olives.
But it was delicious.
It was like a charcuterie board.
Yeah, charcuterie or whatever it's called, with some lovely fresh bread. And then for the main course, they brought out this absolutely fantastic salad with a dressing on that was just a die for. And the macaroni that we'd helped to make, you could tell, because now and again one was as big as my arm. And
well, we were laughing because we were with, we mentioned that there were the guys that we had a meal with who we've got to give a shout out to because they were such good company. Kat and Nate from America, and Pete and Carole from England, and Darren from New Zealand. Yeah. And Kat was making the macaroni, and she made some quite fat ones, and we think that was all in it. But it was fat, but the flavours, the beef and the sauce,
it was a macaroni with beef,
it was delicious, wasn't it?
It was fantastic.
Yeah, and then we had these pastry things for afterwards, and I can't remember what they called them, which were too sweet for me.
They looked, when they brought them out, what I could best describe is looking at it looked like prawn crackers with icing sugar on.
Yeah.
But we enjoyed everything, but that didn't light our fire.
It's like baked dough, wasn't it? But it was a lovely evening.
And there was loads of jugs of wine on the table, which is all included.
Water.
And it was.
But if you wanted beer, you had to pay.
You had to pay for your beer. But if you wanted the wine, it was fine. But it was a thoroughly enjoyable evening. Then we hopped back on the bus.
Yes.
Down the hill. When we got off the bus back in Korcula, there was a little bar across the road that had some live music on.
Yeah, it's a happening little place at night called Cula, and that's the beauty about Sail Croatia cruises, is it tips our previous cruising experiences on its head, where you're actually visiting places in the day and then you're cruising at night. Sail Croatia cruises, you're cruising in the morning, early afternoon, then you've got the rest of the day and evening, so you get to explore these places.
Yeah, so you're encouraged
and you see, and it's buzzing. Yeah. Live music everywhere. It was just lovely, wasn't it, Paulie?
So we had one for the road.
Yes.
And then we headed up the wooden hill to Bedfordshire.
Yes.
Or as it's known, downstairs to our little cabin.
Yes. It's been
just another great day.
Another day gone, but it's coming so quick, isn't it? We're nearly halfway through, and we're sad about that because we're having a fantastic time. We've had such great company on this cruise, and that's the thing you've got to take into consideration with sailing with Croatia. There's only a maximum of 38 passengers on here, 29, and we've met so many lovely people.
That was a bit gobbledygook there, mate. 38 maximum on our cruise, there's 29, because you went, there's 38 passengers, 29.
Did I?
Yes, you've gone mad.
But, so you are going to get up close and personal with other passengers, so if you're someone that doesn't like to socialise, I think you'd struggle on this cruise, wouldn't you? Because it is, and it's just lovely, we're loving it. Right then, so 7:30 this morning, I woke up and thinking, oh, there's movement outside our windows. Even though we've got our portholes, which have got a shield on, where you can see there, look, we've opened it up. So I could see what was going on. And what was going on was the ropes were being let loose, and we were heading out from... Is that what the technical term? Let loose? And we were heading from Korcula to then get to our next island, which is called Vis. V-I-S, isn't it?
Yeah, not
so I thought, we're going, what can I do? I'm not going to have a chance to get dressed and get up on deck to take some video footage. So what I did was this. I got the tripod out, I put my GoPro on the top of it, and I put it on top of the desk here, and this is what happened.
now you know what the coastline looks like if you were videoing it from the inside of a tumble dryer.
Yes. But anyway, I was very quietly doing it until I tried to get off when I tried to turn the camera off, and I missed the chair a little bit and fell off the chair, which woke Paul up.
When she says, I try to do things quietly, I think she has no cognizance of the fact.
Cognizance?
Yes, cognizance of the fact that when she's trying to be quiet in the morning, it's like there's a herd of like buffalo running through the room, lights going on and off, portos being opened, and then she thought, oh well, I woke him up when I nearly fell off the chair. Anyway.
Luckily it was about 20 to 8 and it was nearly time for breakfast.
Time for breakfast, yeah, made breakfast again. And even though we're heading to Vis, our swim stop was still on the outskirts of Korcula,
yes,
because we went from the one side all the way to the other.
Yes.
And we had our swim stop before our lunch. But today, I just let him read my book.
You did?
Yeah.
And I was doing a little bit of blogging stuff in the cabin because I needed to catch up with our previous videos. So that was, so that was our morning, which was actually quite productive, wasn't it? So it was good.
Well, it wasn't productive for me because I was just reading Jack Reacher.
So once we'd done a little bit of work and Paul just chilled out, then it was lunchtime. And this is the first meal that I didn't actually finish. And the reason is, I'm not a fan of polenta. But to start, we had this most magnificent.
I had a magnificent
prawn.
And I want to say, how weird is this? Prawn and mango salad.
Yes.
But it's the future because it was absolutely delicious.
It was delicious.
With a balsamic glaze over it. Oh,
please.
I know all the stuff. I know all the technical.
And then we had swordfish, which was delicious in this like tomato sauce, but like I say, the polenta, which I didn't eat. But the pudding was this most gooeyest chocolate cake. And Paul's got a new best friend because Pete doesn't eat chocolate, so Paul has Pete's puddings too.
Yeah, so I always make sure I sit by Pete now because it's a bit embarrassing if Pete's on another table and I have to go across her and get his pudding. That's a bit embarrassing, isn't it?
We had another fun lunch. We were sat again with the guys from New Zealand who've just been a hoot, haven't they? David, Elizabeth and Liz. Elspeth, yes. Who've just been fantastic company, and Darren. So we had some random conversations about tennis and all sorts, and we were in hysterics.
And Liz is going to make me apparently do Pilates before the end of the cruise.
Liz actually is from New Zealand, but she lives in New York and she teaches Pilates. So tomorrow we're joining in with a Pilates session at 10:15. So watch this space. Next.
Go on, you can tell him.
Yeah.
Go on.
I could think of the name then. The next island we visited was called Vis. V-I-S.
Yes, not V-I-Z. That's something completely different.
Yes, that's a magazine from many years ago. And nothing like this island at all.
No.
So we arrived here after a lovely swimming stop. When everyone got off to go on an excursion around the island and up to a viewpoint, we stayed on board. And it was lovely, wasn't it, Paulie?
It was, yeah. First you had the whole ship to ourselves.
Yes. And we were able to do a ship tour, which I'll put a link in here when we've put that all together. And it took us, because it's only got 4 decks, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's the quickest ship tour we've ever done.
That's right.
But yeah, so it's Queen Jelena is just a lovely ship, isn't it, Paulie? Yeah. It's very, from the outside it looks very oldie worldy, doesn't it? How would you describe it?
Well, it is. They've made it. When you do this type of holiday, there is lots and lots and lots of other ships doing similar sorts of things, but nothing looks like the Queen Jelena. Everything's all very modern and they're white and shiny and they look modern. What they managed to do with Queen Jelena is they've made her look much older than she actually is, because it's actually quite a young...
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah. So it's only 4 years old, but it's just everything's like wooden planking and chrome.
Because we have to, obviously, we're cruising a lot and we want to make sure that we can keep putting videos out every week. We obviously have to do some work on the go. And it's lovely, wasn't it? We just sat up outside the saloon bar and just sat and worked, and it was just perfect, wasn't it?
I've definitely worked in worse places.
Exactly.
I even had a little beer while I was doing it.
Well, Paul was very happy. I was very good.
Yeah.
I didn't drink when I'm working. I had a Diet Coke.
Whatever.
I did.
Other cola drinks are available.
They are. So after all our work was done, well, most of it, wasn't it,
Yeah,
Paulie?
we got a bit done.
Yeah, we decided to go and have a walk all down Vis. Now, it's a long promenade, basically, isn't it, in Vis? But it's very, very busy. Lots and lots of ships in. But a beautiful promenade. Really nice vibe, wasn't it? Very pavement culture type vibe.
And it's not, when Carole says lots of ships in, it's not just our types of ships that are doing tours. There was lots of private boats in as well. And
small, big.
Yeah, small, big, you name it. Some, obviously somebody with a lot of dollar about them, that's for sure. Some of the
boats. Yachts. Yeah,
quite
awesome.
Spectacular.
No cruise ships. Cruise ships just don't get close to this, do they?
No.
So that's the beauty of small ship cruising. We're able to visit places that we would never have been able to do normal cruising. But Vis, the promenade, we had a really long walk, didn't we? Right down to the end, and walk back up. It was quite. You got your hair off actually, didn't you, Paulie?
Well,
because
I don't want to say like I'm like the businessman of the century, but we went into, well, we didn't go into because it was outside, but there was like a courtyard, and there must have been 25 tables with chairs, and only one table had anybody sat at. And I said to the guy, could we have a drink here? No, this is for eating. If you want to drink, you have to go somewhere else. We're going to be busy in 15 minutes. And I said, yeah, but you're not busy now, are you? And he just sort of shrugged and walked away. And I thought, well, I mean, that's the attitude. If you want to be a millionaire, you keep up that attitude, don't you, really? But
I think obviously they had the tables booked for later on, but it wouldn't have hurt.
He wasn't even implying that they were booked, because at the front of the restaurant that looked out over the sea, there was reserved tables, but only about 3. There must have been 20 plus free tables. So yeah, we did get the hump a bit. So we carried on walking, and then in a little sort of back alleyway.
Well, that happened to you twice.
Oh, that twice that happened. But I know,
in the end, I thought, Paulie's losing it. I said, come on, let's just walk away, and we'll just.
I just wanted a beer.
He did want a beer. Anyway, as you said, we walked to a back alley.
Little back alley, and there was outside this little restaurant. There was 2
big urns.
Well, no,
I love a Grecian urn. It's not Grecian, it's Croatian urn. And I spotted it. I was like, oh, that looks a lovely place there.
I was on about the tables and chairs that was outside, not the urns.
Oh.
Yes. But anyway, so there was 2 urns. What's a Greek urn? About 50 pence a week.
I knew you were going to do
Copyright Morecambe and Wise. Anyway, 2 tables and chairs outside. Lovely waitress walked past. Is it okay if we sit there for a drink? Of course it is, she said. Let me go and get you a menu.
Yes.
So we sat there. She bought.
Let me say the name. I wrote it down.
It was Nonna Dorinka.
Yeah.
Now, unbeknownst to us at the time, in the little alleyway, there was only 2 tables and chairs, but round the corner was like a big courtyard area where there was loads of tables and chairs, which was part of this restaurant.
Yes.
So I had a local beer, Carole had a local wine, and then
big bottle of water,
and then we had a little glance at the menu, and Carole said, I could eat a little bit.
We had that for about 8 hours.
So we ordered, because they love pizza, and they do pizza really well. You just see it on a the pizza is like a big the Croatian menu is very Mediterranean, as in lots of fish, pasta and pizza.
Yeah,
and they do
Italian,
and they do
similar,
it really well, because
yeah.
we had a pizza. We've had a couple of pizzas since we've been here, and Carole said, well, yeah, you could just go with like sharing a pizza. So we went for a spicy pepperoni that had like
they have the big long chilies that you get in like kebab shops, so they're a bit sort of vinegary.
Yeah.
But these ones are really hot.
Really
it was delicious.
And it was lovely. And I actually went inside just before they brought our pizza out. And it was just, it couldn't have been more authentic. There was this old fella behind the bar. He was putting all the toppings on the pizzas. And then it was a proper wood fire.
Yeah, but I think that's common for
but it was like fascinating. I didn't take any photos because I didn't realise it was going to be in there.
Yeah.
So,
but beautiful restaurant, air conditioned inside. Where we sat, it was just lovely watching all the locals walking past.
Yeah.
And it was just a really, it would be my dream sort of house. If I was going to buy a house in the Mediterranean somewhere, all the urns and just the stone, and it was beautiful. So we definitely recommend if you're coming to visit there. Also, our friends that we've met on here, Carole and Pete, went to a restaurant called, I wrote that down as well. They were telling us about it's called Canoba Canton, and I'll put this on the screen. A restaurant, and they said they had a big, what fish did they say? Jungle fish.
Scorpion fish or something?
I don't know.
I mean, we're full of information. I thought they said
It was
scorpion
an
fish. But,
yeah, but they said they had a fantastic meal, but they could only get a table at 9 o'clock. So if you are wanting to go to the more commercial type, well, not commercial,
No,
but
more
the
at
market restaurants in Vis, I think you definitely need to think ahead and book. So contact them prior to your arrival, because they
don't contact Pete and Caroline. Contact the restaurant.
Yeah, I'll put Pete and Carol's number at the bottom here now. So that was lovely. And then by about 9:30, I said to Pauline, let's just go back and sit at the back of our ship and just watch the activity on the promenade. And we sat there, didn't we, for about half an hour, had a drink, and then we were both a little bit sleepy, weren't we? Mm-hmm. So 10 o'clock, we decided, let's go to bed.
We were here.
We were here, yeah. So we're back here, snuggled up in bed. But it was a lovely evening, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We thoroughly enjoyed it.
Join us in episode 3 where we visit the Blue Cave, we have our first experience of Pilates, and we go to the party island of Hvar.